Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Game Day with Heavy Cardboard, where we teach, play, and discuss medium and heavy strategy board games, war games, 18xx, and other related topics in the board gaming hobby. It's day 2 of the advent of holiday gaming, where we're live streaming 24 straight days of various games. Today, featuring Lagerstätten, designed by Masaki Suga and published by Analog Lunchbox. That is an awesome name for a company, I just want to say. So, first off, I'm your host, Edward Euler. Happy to be joined by a really good group today.
Amanda Euler.
Guten Tag, Sweater Mike.
I'm Nathan Brown.
And Matt McChesney.
All right, so the Advent tree is behind me. It's slowly adding ornaments as we get towards Christmas Eve. So thanks to everybody joining us live as well as after the fact. And as we continue this challenge of 24 streams in 24 days. So, Lagerstätten, as per Wikipedia, says a sedimentary deposit that exhibits extraordinary fossils with exceptional preservation. So, join us while we dig for some fossils. Yeah? All right. So, let's go ahead and get to it without too much further ado. All right, y'all? All right. And Tony says he's on bad accent patrol. That's awesome, by the way.
I couldn't find my pith helmet.
All right, so normally I would take down the cameras in the chat for this, but I'll be honest, it's really a pretty simple teach today, so I figure I would go ahead and leave everything up. All right, so Lagerstätten is a worker placement set collection game where players are going to be digging into various strata to discover pieces of fossils, making complete specimens, and either selling them to private collections or exhibiting them in museums. Whomever has the most research funding or victory points at the end of 8 rounds wins the game. All right, so first off, looking at the board, this is a pretty low complexity game here. So we have the victory point track around the outside, which is called research funding. We have the player order track. We have the game turn track here. We have 7 worker placement locations everywhere you see these little squares out here. And then we also have the prestige track. We also have collection requests. We have museum exhibitions, and then we have different Lagerstätten, 3 different Lagerstätten, or 3 different areas in which we're going to be digging for fossils. So, now, talking about the cards here, all right? So, on the cards, we have a number of different cards, basically 3 different types. So, we have sediment and fossil cards. So, these fossil cards are sediment when they're face down. They're fossil cards when they're face up. Then we have private collector cards, look like these 2 here, and then we have museum exhibit cards here. So we're going to talk about the sediment and fossil cards to begin with. So there are 3 different types of sediment. There's Cretaceous, there's Jurassic period, and there's Triassic period here. And these are examples of the different fossils that actually are inside each different sediment. So as I said, when they're face down, they're sediment. When they're face up, they're fossils. So, on the fossil cards, we have the name of the dinosaur. So, right here, Tyrannosaurus. All right, pretty simple. Then we see it's going to have a total of 4 pieces to make a complete specimen. This is piece 2 of 4, meaning we still need piece 1, 3, and 4. All right? Then it also has what period it's from. So the Cretaceous, they're color coded. Even though the greens are similar, the names are there and they are color coded. The private collector request cards here, so it shows the period in which the specimen must come from. So this one says any, so it could be any period, whereas this one would have to come specifically from the Triassic period. It must have 3 parts, and it must always be a complete specimen. That's important to know. So for instance, if I had, this Tyrannosaurus here that is a complete specimen of 4 pieces, that would not qualify for this any period one, because even though it's above and beyond what it asks for, this one only asks for 2 parts. And I want to point something out, that the rules are not crystal clear on this. We have played it in the past in which, I could do a 4-piece dinosaur to fulfill a 2-piece request. But this is heavy cardboard, so we're going to play it by letter of the law. If it says 2 parts, It's got to be 2 parts.
And what's funny is that's how I've always played it. So I've always been the hardest
Yeah,
possible.
whenever we make a mistake for a game, it's always make it harder on
The
accident.
museum making the request has limited space.
Well, no,
They
these
can't-
are specific
collectors, but
collectors,
then
but
they
the
also have
point-
specific
The
space.
point remains, all right? So we have the period in which it must come from, the number of pieces of the completed specimen. You cannot, nobody wants a incomplete fossil or a specimen. It must be the complete specimen. And depending on what round you complete the specimen in and turn it in, that's how much research funding that you will get, whether it's 20, 15, 10, 10, 7, 5, depending on the difficulty of the contract. Last but not least, we have the museum exhibit. And what these are, and I'll explain this more in detail, is based on how many of these you have, you're going to get that much research funding each round in which you have it. All right, so that's the different cards. So now let's go ahead and talk about the gameplay. So the game takes place over 8 rounds, as you can see here. Each round is going to be broken down into the same 4 phases. The 4 phases are the refill phase. We'll cover that at the end of everything because we skip it in the first round. Then there's placing assistance phase. Everybody has 4 assistants or 4 workers. We're going to take in turn order, placing them out here on the board. Then we're going to activate them. And we're going to activate them in the 3rd phase, which is the action resolution phase. Then the last phase is the research funding phase, in which we're going to score our points that we may have gotten by completing specimens, getting research, or getting museum exhibits, so on and so forth. So now the actual phases in detail. Like I said, the refill phase we'll talk about at the end. The placing assistance phase is the main placement phase. So in turn order, so in this case, we're going to randomize turn order before we start, but as it is, red will go first. Then have a choice of 7 different locations. They're numbered 0 through 6. You always must place your assistant in the leftmost or uppermost location. So even though it starts with number 8 here, you still place here first. Then as 1 gets here, then 7, so on and so forth. Here it would be 1, 2, 3, then 4, then 5, etc. If somebody places here, you can still freely place in either of those Lagerstätten as well. You cannot place in occupied spaces, and you may have multiple assistants in the same spot. So for instance, on my turn, if I place there, it goes around the board, it becomes my turn again. I could go something like that. That's totally legit, as long as spaces are available. All of these locations, numbered 1 through 6, resolve during the next phase. However, the geological survey space resolves immediately when you place it. That's the one exception to this rule. What this does is when you place here, it's going to allow you to actually look through these 3 stacks of cards, the 3 Lagerstätten. So if you're the first one to place, you can look through all 3. If you're the second, you can look at your choice of 2 of them. If you're third, you can only look at 1 of them. But it gives you an idea on what is going to be available this turn. Any questions on that?
So that stack persists through the whole game, or
It
just
will
one turn?
be refilled during the refill phase, but for this round, when you look through it, it has 5 cards. Each of these have 5 cards. It's a mix of the Cretaceous, a mix of the Jurassic, and a mix of the Triassic. So in this stack, there will be 1, 2, and 2 respectively, then 2, 1, and 2, and then 2, 2, and 1 respectively.
After you survey the stack, does it go back in the same order?
Exact same order. It must stay in the same order. And you'll understand why here in a minute. So we have the refill phase, which we'll talk about. We have the actual placement phase. And now we go into the action resolution phase, which is now we actually do the actions in which we planned by placing out our workers. So again, it's going to be top to bottom in numerical order. We're going to go, so these will resolve this way. On those 2, everything else will resolve left to right, okay? Top to bottom. So the first location, planning. That's how we change turn order. You're tired of going last? This is how you can change it. First one to place will become first, then second, then third. Pretty self-explanatory. The second location is excavation, and this is where we're going to explain what you asked, Mike. So it resolves northern zone first, then central zone, then southern zone. You're going to take a number of cards as there are assistants, and let me explain exactly what that means. If there are 4 assistants on the 5 spots, whoever's first, so in this case me, I get to take the top 4 cards. There are 5 cards in that deck. You do not get to take that last card. And so it's important to note the Triassic will always be at the bottom, the Jurassic will always be in the middle, and the Cretaceous will always be at the top. So if you do not fill these, you're going to have a harder time getting to Triassic cards. Does that make sense? So in this case, I would draw the top 4 cards off this deck. So there are 5 cards, and there are 1 Cretaceous, there are 2 Jurassic, and there are 2 Triassic. So the bottom Triassic would actually stay there on there. I would then look at these 4 on the bottom side, which I don't want to do it because I don't want to, cheat. I would choose one of these 4 cards and then put it down in my tableau as sediment. Okay, then I would pass these along to the next player, which in this case is Mike. You would get these, whatever 3 that are left, look at them, choose one, then pass it to red, then pass it to blue. However, if it had been like this, we would then be able to look at all 5. I would, at the beginning, I would choose one, you would choose one, Matt would choose one, Amanda would then be left with both of the 2, leaving them as sediment on your tableau. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
So the number of assistants in the excavation is how many cards get pulled off.
Exactly. So even though somebody may have looked here and been like, oh, I really want that Triassic card that's at the bottom, guess what? You better make sure there are 5 assistants there. But the thing is if you're last, you don't know if you're going to actually get it. Okay? So we're going to resolve this one, then this one, then this one. And the reason that matters is if, for instance, it were like this, Amanda gets to look at these cards before she gets to go into this deck to look at that, because that might influence what she selects. That makes sense? All right. So that is the excavation. All right. As I said, you're going to put them face down in your tableau as sediment, and you continue until all the cards are gone. You're limited to the number of sediment and fossil cards as your marker on the prestige track. So at the beginning of the game, everybody has a card limit of 6 sediment and 6 fossils, meaning you can have 6 sediment and you can have 6 face-up fossil cards at the same time. If at any point you have 6 sediment cards, you cannot even look to take that action. Now, as we increase this track, obviously you'll be able to go up to a maximum of 9, but we'll get into that more later. Just remember, 6 fossils and 6 sediment is all you're ever allowed to have in your tableau until this increases. We clear? We good? All right. So that's excavation. Now we're going to go into the academic conference. So what happens here, first things first, is you must discard 1 card from your tableau, whether it's sediment, so we'll use this as an example. Let's say I have these 2 cards in my tableau. I must discard a minimum of 1 card. When you discard, go ahead and turn it face down. It becomes sediment, okay? You can discard any number of cards from any period that you wish. For every card that you discard, you increase up the prestige track, okay? A minimum of 1 to maximum of whatever's in your tableau. Then, in addition to that, you can look through the entire discard stack that's here.
Near the end of the game, it's a gold mine.
It can get to be a pretty thick stack of cards there, because after you've seeded the card, now obviously if you're the very first one of the game to go there, you know what's in there because you just discarded it, right? However, as we go along, you're going to be able to take a look at all the cards, and you can select cards from that stack. You can select any amount of cards. However, I misspoke one thing. Let me double check. Let me back up one step. You can discard any number of cards. They must be from the same period. Okay. Meaning it's either all Cretaceous or all Jurassic or all Triassic period cards, okay, when you discard. So sorry about that. Then you move up the track 1 step. Then, like I said, you can discard, you can look through the discard pile, select any amount of sediment cards. This is where the period does not matter. You can select as many cards. However, it costs 2 research funding for every card that you select in this way. What that means, you start at 10 research funding or 10 victory points. You're paying victory points to get those cards. At the beginning of the game, until you score, you can take a maximum of 5 cards out of that pile. Cool?
Okay.
When you take cards out of that pile, it becomes sediment for you. So even if when I discarded it, it was face up to me, when it comes to you, you have to re-excavate it. Okay? That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Yeah, there you go. The other thing, when you select cards out of here, keep in mind you have to respect the prestige track for how many cards, how many sediment that you can have, whether it's 6 through 9.
All right.
Okay, all right. Cool. Then we have fossil restoration, which is here. This is how sediment becomes fossils. You can flip them over, exactly. You turn them face up, any number of sediment cards from a single period. So you can turn over all your Cretaceous if you wish, or you can flip over part of your Cretaceous. And the reason the reason you might not want to reveal everything will come apparent here momentarily. And again, you have to respect the number of fossils that you can have. Okay? All right. Then the collector request. Whenever you go here, this is how you get contracts, basically, all right, or recipes to fulfill if you prefer. Whenever whoever's here first gets to look at the entire stack and take one and keep it face down in front of them, and it's a gold card for them to resolve, okay, at their leisure. The card limit or hand limit on these is 3. So if at any point you ever have 4, you discard 1 back to the stack. And then whoever's second will get whatever's left, so on and so forth. So if I had 3 already and I were first in this case, and then let's say Matt were second, I have 3, I take one of these, I put my 4th one back, then Matt gets to look at the entire stack, including the one that I returned.
All right.
Okay, cool, all right. Then last but not least, there's a museum exhibit. If you have a full specimen, so in this case, if I have an entire Tyrannosaurus, meaning all 4 pieces, and I have placed a marker out here, I can go digging through this stack. All of these are face up. This shows all the different dinosaurs that are available in the game. And I get to take that exhibit, and I put it here in my tableau. Then, when we get to the next phase, it's going to score me points. The important thing to know here is note the order in which these resolve. The reason that matters is because if another player currently has that exhibit, excuse me, let me have that. You take it from them, so they are no longer getting those recurring points. You are.
Oh my.
Okay, and I should point out, and actually I'll show it to folks here, there are multiple sets of each of these specimens. So it's possible that, say I have a pterodon, somebody else comes in and gets a pterodon after me, well, there goes my exhibit. Because when we get there, you're going to discard your exhibit to be able to, or you're going to discard the actual specimen to take that card. More on that in a second. So those are the different actions. Pretty simple. Any questions? No? All right, cool. Then we go into the final phase, which is research funding. So in player order, you can fulfill any request cards that you have in your tableau. You have to discard the specimen, that being the important. It's out of the game. It does not go into a discard pile in which it can then be fished for later. No, it's out of the game once you've discarded it. Then you're going to receive whatever the victory points are. So let's say it were turn 3 and I complete this one right here. So it's round 3. I would score 10 research funding. So okay, easy enough. Come back, boom. I got 10 points. Easy enough, okay? In addition to that, if you have any museum exhibits, so you have a full specimen, if you wish to, you don't have a request, or you wish to just place it to the museum instead of to a private collector, a little bit more altruistic, to a point. You then go fishing for it, and all of them look identical to this, except the specimen itself looks different, and the name is different. The point distribution is identical. So what that means is if you have one exhibit, you're going to score 3 points every round, or get 3 research funding every round, 2 for 5, and 10 points for 3 specimens. if you can keep it.
Because there's multiple sets, someone else will take that museum away from
Potentially.
from you.
Getting sets is hard.
Okay.
Getting sets is very hard in this game, and there's only 8 rounds in which to do everything.
All right.
So that's it. The only thing that I have left to talk about is the refill phase, which is real simple. Advance the turn marker, refill the 3 Lagerstätten here. So meaning, okay, if in that example there was only that 1 Triassic card left, we would then put 1 more Triassic card, then 2 more Jurassic from the supply here, and then 1 more Cretaceous on top. That one's done. Then we refill this. The requests here, depending on what round, we refill based on that number there, how many go in there. And then, yeah, if ever the request cards run out, or any of the period or the sediment cards run out, you just don't get that many cards then. So it's possible these might not have 5 stacks come later rounds, especially in a 5-player game. And it could be that there's just no requests left. Everybody has them. That's it. That's the ball game. However, final scoring. Pretty simple. Into 8th round. Whoever has the most points wins. The end.
All right.
Okay.
The end.
Just so I'm clear, the private collector requests are one-time funding grants, and the museum exhibits are ongoing.
Correct.
As long as you keep them.
As long as you keep them being the catch.
All right.
Okay?
So there might be some hate drafting of skeletons in the closet somewhere.
Don't know
Just,
what you're talking about.
So to start the game, we're going to randomize the turn order and then start in phase 2, which is placing assistants. So that's it. So go ahead, Peanut Gallery. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask it now. We'll go ahead and reset the board real quick. If you guys will take the markers here. I will make sure that these get back into their respective decks, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Do I randomize this?
Huh? Yeah, go ahead and randomize it. Just so nobody can start planning ahead of time. And the stuff that's off deck, or off camera, I'm sorry, are the actual different decks. So this is the Triassic, to give an example and everything. I wanted to try and keep it clean for this, as well as be able to show everybody's tableaus on this. So everybody needs to do a good job of keeping their tableaus around the board as best they can. It might not be perfect, but that's all right. The request deck looks like that. And then actually the Allosaurus. The only other house rule, the heavy cardboard house rule, is before you can complete a request or get a museum exhibit, you must attempt to pronounce the dinosaur in which. Or if you're Mike, you also have to caricature the dinosaur.
Have to pose.
There you go, right. That's it. All right, cool. Good deal. All right, so looks like Nathan, welcome.
First.
You begin.
Okay.
Yep, place your bets, y'all.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the northern zone,
right.
and I can go ahead and
No,
Not
don't.
yet.
Only when
So
we-
so
When
here
everybody's
so
done.
here. Okay, so real quick, everybody. So Matt, Nathan, and Mike
Let me
have
watch
not played this game. Both Amanda and I have played this. So I'll give a little bit of brief strategy stuff in which we found. Now we're far from experts at this game. However, early on, you just want to get dirt. You just because you don't know what you're going after. Later on, as things go, you're going to want to go for specific fossils, so you want to start looking at what's in there to be like, okay, I will really want to go here in the central zone because I know it has part 2 of the 3-part fossil that I need, or something like that. Right now, a lot less important because you just need stuff.
Yep.
That makes sense? Okay, cool. All right, so yellow, that's me.
I found this shirt that I didn't realize existed until yesterday, and I'm very sad about it. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a Santa hat on, and
Northern, please.
all around him it says "fa rah 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 rah." And I so would have been wearing
Oh,
that
my
today.
gracious.
There
Yeah.
you go. So welcome everybody, by
Yes.
the way. All right, thanks for joining us today, guys. Yeah, the graphic design on this is very Winsome-esque, and it's minimalist. I don't think it's bad. It's just minimalist. But everybody at this table tends to like all those games, so yeah. That actually was the appeal. The box cover was the original appeal for me. I saw that and I'm like, looks like a prototype. That's
Right.
awesome. I'm such a hipster when it comes to games.
Just need to get you some glasses without lenses. and
There
you'll
you
be set.
go, right? All right, Matt. Oh, hey, Tony. All right, Tony Boydell's here, as
Let's-
well as a lot of regulars, so welcome, everybody.
Let's excavate the northern
So-
all the way to the bottom.
Josh from Brawling Brothers in there as well.
Oh, Josh, I
Yeah.
haven't seen Josh
Yeah, they
before.
went
Yeah,
past,
it's
but
way
yeah.
up there.
Deal. All
There
right,
are lots of people in there today.
good. That's what I'm saying, you sheeples.
Hey,
I'm sorry. In the game of Lagerstätten, we go in this order, Edward. So I'm curious, for everybody in the peanut gallery, how many of y'all have played this? Obviously, Tony Boydell has.
now it's your turn.
You know what? Game state hasn't changed. There, done.
I think did we skip over me?
Who are you?
No.
No, in the game of Lagerstätten.
Oh, I'm looking
you're
at the
last.
Yeah.
score, the start track.
So here, we'll do this so it
Mhm.
doesn't confuse you. How's that? That better?
Good.
Okay, cool.
Now it's you.
Okay, let's dig that central all the way to the bottom.
Oh, wow. That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last request.
Yep. You get sloppy thirds.
That's
Nathan.
okay. I'm fine with that.
I like the fact that all of these potentially are going to be filled and I get to look first on them. So we will actually... So I'm likely that Matt or Mike will go here. So you know what? Why don't we go first next turn?
Mhm.
I was thinking about that myself.
Yep, when Bev was here, Alancha, Bev, we busted this out as well as Pixie Queen, which you may see soon on a stream. And Franny, earlier you mentioned that the cleanliness of the design is a good thing. I totally agree
Yeah,
with
why
that.
not?
Yep. All right, and Mike, bring it
All
home.
right, so in the geological survey, I'll be able to pick up one of those whole stacks,
Actually, if you
right?
if you go first here, which you're the only one with workers left or assistants, you can look at all three stacks.
Yeah. Knowledge is
Is
Power,
king
right?
actually.
okay.
So actually, both of you keep it in that order because Nathan, you're white, right?
Yep.
So you both can look at that together since Nathan's first. So just hand it to
So
Nathan
you just
when
get to
you're
look,
done.
but
Yeah.
I get to take one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. And then
So go ahead and find the best for me.
yeah, this is pretty much out of print already, guys. I'm sorry to say, but it's possible that if there's a big enough demand, maybe somebody picks it up. This is a Japan brand game from Analog Games that, or I should say,
Analog lunchbox.
Analog Lunchbox published it. And then Mike, you can look at this one while we're waiting. All right, so real quick, so we're finishing this, and then we're moving everything else. We're going into the next phases. So,
Oh, yeah.
so Japan brand brought it to Essen, and then from there, it pretty much sold out by Saturday or Sunday. And then this is the second stack, so the central zone.
All right.
Okay, so
Mike
here real
gets to look
quick.
at this.
So here. So this is done. Give that back to Mike, if you would. Then I'm going to become first. So that's done.
Okay, this
Then-
is the northern zone.
Nathan has already selected his card.
I
Amanda has selected her card.
Now,
Or you're done looking at that, right, Mike?
yes.
Okay. And now
So Mike
Mike's
has the
selecting
northern zone.
that.
Then I get one. Then he gets
And
the
then
last
he
one.
gets left over. And so since I'm not here, I can go ahead and start looking at this. So actually, don't look at the screen, guys. There you go. So Oh, wait, there we go. So to give you guys an idea on what I'm looking at, we're gonna just go ahead and start with that since I don't have a whole lot of reason otherwise. We're good. And now this goes to red, so that goes to Matt. So this one's done. So blue took hers, took yours. I like the way you think, Ulrich. Nice. I've played this with 4 and 5 so far. I do have serious concerns about the 3-player, but I'll talk about that at the end of the game. And yes, Matthew, we are going back to our roots that it's an out-of-print game that nobody can get. Yes. All right, so now white takes 2. Keep it up so they can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Mini Euro size, I think, is what these are, or at least they're close to mini Euro size. They're about that. Yes. Sorry, not sorry, Sean. And then it goes to green, the last
There you
one.
go.
So those two. So Nathan, you're done with those. Mike, and now I can go ahead and start looking at this one. Okay, don't look at the screen, guys. So those are my options. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and go this route there to try and make it easy. All right, good. And now red. So at any point, you can look at your own dirt, obviously, right? So I have a Jurassic and a Cretaceous so far. Amanda, Triassic and Cretaceous. Mike's mixed. Nathan's really mixed. And Matt gets 2 back to back there. And then he gives it to Amanda. And then he gets what's left over.
Tailings. The stuff
Okay,
that's left
thanks, Tony.
over in the pile
The
after the
tailings,
screening.
right. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so now we go to
The request. So
Request.
there's nothing else
Put
out
these
there.
on
So
this
Amanda.
end just in case we
There you
start to
go.
get
Yep.
together.
Sure. So Amanda is choosing her request. So Anthony or Tony, what do you mean by that? With a bit more time, you can fix the 3-player issues. I haven't played it. I just have my concerns about it, just on the premise that the game does not scale at all. Choose wisely, Amanda.
I'm trying.
All right, so she took 1. I am. Oh. Okay, I will. Don't look at the screen, guys. So there, I'm gonna go ahead and take this one since it kind of works with what I took, but no one heard that. Don't worry. And then Nathan,
Cool.
you get sloppy thirds.
I just
there
get
we
it.
go. And you like it.
I love it.
All right. Any questions on that? Nathan,
Nope.
you good? All right.
I think so.
Cool. All right. So now we go into the 3rd phase. I'm sorry, the 4th phase, which is we can score, but, well, Amanda.
Nope.
Okay, nobody has any face-up dirt. Nobody can do anything, so we're just going to go ahead and skip it. So we go into the refill phase of turn 2. Step 1, whoop. Step 2, we need to refill these. Step 3, we need to refill these. So actually, we'll keep these over in front of y'all. So it's going to be 3 of those in there. So you can see how these refill. So the Triassic is always at the bottom. So there's going to be 1 there. There will be 2 there. And there will be 2 there. And Matt, you can grab the Cretaceous and follow behind me. So there will be 2, 1, 2.
2, 2, 1.
There we go. All right. So now we are in this turn order. We go into placing assistance. Okay, so at this point, I now have my request that I know. I now have a couple of pieces of dirt, which eventually I will want to turn over and go to the fossil restoration. So because no one's listening here, so I can say this out loud, that the Cretaceous period is where I want to focus on. So there's only 1 Cretaceous in the northern zone, and there are 2 in each of these. So you know what? We'll go ahead and roll the dice that I'm going to be able to get in there first and just bet on it. So done. White.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Edward, can you explain
Yes.
what's happening on this request card one more time?
Sure. Here, I'll just take one of the from the deck
Yeah.
here. Okay. So here, I'll do it like this. All right. So on the request card, so whatever specimen, it must be a complete specimen. In this case, it must be from the Jurassic period. Okay. So to explain that, the Jurassic period, and it must be a 4-part dinosaur from the Jurassic period. So if we look here, we have the Jurassic period, which are all these. This one only has 2 parts, 3. So this contract essentially is what it is. It must specifically be for an Apatosaurus because it's a 4-part and it's the only 4-part Jurassic. That makes sense? Okay. So I must collect all 4 from here, so parts 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and 4 of 4, and once I have all 4 parts, then I can turn this request in along with the entire specimen, discard it, and depending on what round that happens, I get 30, 20, or 15 points respectively.
Great.
Good?
You have to excavate all that stuff before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's really hard.
Right.
Because how we were playing it previously, and let me explain this to folks, let me find a different request, is this one. So real quick, let me pause everybody. So in this case, because the rules are not crystal clear on this, this one says any period, meaning it could be Jurassic, it could be anything else, and it has a 2-part dinosaur.
Oh, sorry.
The 2-part dinosaur, the way we were playing it, meaning you could fill any dinosaur on this, whether it's 2 parts, 3 parts, or 4 parts, would fulfill that contract. But we're playing it by letter of the law. It says 2 parts. It must be 2 parts, and it must be a complete dinosaur, meaning it can only be those, or that. Those are the only ones that it could be, and it has to be a complete dinosaur, a complete specimen. Cool. All right. Good. All right. So I'll shuffle the request back up now. All right. Red, Matt.
Southern, please.
Help me out.
Southern excavation.
Right, there it is. All right, right there.
Yes.
Okay. So here, we'll keep those off camera there. Put the Jurassic back. Good. All right, so that was green. Back to yellow. I'll go ahead and get in on that action. Cool.
I as well.
And remember, you're limited to 6 face-down pieces of dirt. So in Matt's case, he can only do 1 more. Because remember, these resolve in number order. So starting with 1, fossil restoration, where you actually get to turn dirt into fossils, and you have 6 and 6 right now of each card, doesn't happen until you go digging. That makes sense? So if he were to place a 3rd one over here, he could place 1 more. If he places a 3rd, it's a completely wasted action. He cannot take that action.
Dig.
Which
all the
one?
way to the bottom.
Okay. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and start turning some over to give me the ability to dig some more. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna come see you. Go ahead. He's like, I only get 1 card right now. Well, if you go for a 2nd card, you may get some company. It's likely you'll get some company.
But he can't.
Yeah, he can. He can get
I
1
get
more.
2. So I've got
So
4,
that's
so I can
4,
do 6.
that's 5, and you can
Oh,
place
that's
1
true,
more
that's
for a
true, okay.
6th. So the
why
basics
not?
so far starting to make sense to everybody out there? Green, you're up.
Planning.
Okay. And back to yellow.
It's going at the tail end of the dinosaur is
For the birds.
For the birds.
Or for the pterodactyls.
The
Pterodons,
ichthyosaurs.
right?
Planning, please.
And red.
Thank you.
I would not recommend going to either of those. All right, cool.
Oh, gracious me.
Oh, Cretaceous you? What?
Let's,
Cretaceous me.
There.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so that was well done. I don't want it to go unnoted. So, all right, so planning. So green's going to go first. Blue, everybody stays in relative order other than that. There. Take your markers back. All right, so now we get to excavate. So in this case, only the top 3, Matt. Go for it. Which means no Triassic terror.
Yeah.
Edward, can you have multiple requests?
Absolutely. You can have
Okay.
up to 3. The 4th
Okay.
one, remember, goes back into there.
Right.
And I got left with Jurassic, which is not really what I wanted, unless... that might have been a set. That's exciting. No. Okay.
Anytime he goes over the top,
All right. So these 2 will remain through the next round. So if someone had gone to the geological survey, those would stay so they know. Okay. But no one did, so I get to take all 5 in this case. Oh, for the love of all that's good and holy. I cut my nails and there we go. All right, so we are looking for... It's funny, one of these I'm like, I really don't want to complete it because I have no idea how to pronounce that. Oh, I need to choose better.
Yeah, where is our advice coin today?
It's over to my left here. I'll break it out for you if you'd like. You know what? Because I'm going to be able to see all of these, I'm actually going to go ahead and take that card. So these go to white. Nathan. All right.
Now, that was the thing. Instead of saying inflammatory comments to one another when someone would screw up at BGG, we'd just tap the coin.
Yeah, we would just
and look
hand them the
meaningful.
coin and be like, just plan better, sir.
Yeah.
Blue.
I suppose we could start digging the
Oh,
southern-
green, yes, you can, because you're not in the second, in the, in the central zone, correct.
Okay.
So,
Well, there's only one. There's
yeah,
only
it
one
goes
deep one.
2, 2, 1,
I
correct.
messed up, Amanda. I went ahead and took 2. Would I have taken 1, passed it to you,
Yeah.
and taken... Okay.
yeah.
Oops.
So
So we're
We'll
right
just-
here.
we'll just
Yeah.
keep it as it is, and now
Okay.
we know for the future. So
Gotcha.
you get that.
This
You took if you
goes-
took
Yep.
2, then I get
Goes
this
back
one
to
as
you.
well. Okay.
Okay.
My bad.
And
He took
the
2 in a
other-
row instead of
Gotcha.
on bomb bomb bomb.
Okay. That's why we can't have nice things, Nathan.
I'm so
Sheesh.
sorry. Game's over, guys.
Right.
Game over, man.
Teaching or cheating. All right, I'm going to select that one. So that's there. And Nathan, you get to take one of these.
I get 1, right? 1?
Were you an only child?
I'm not answering that.
And then pass them to Amanda.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Hello, Philip. To answer your question, Matthew, how is it held up? It looks brand new. I mean, if you polish it, right? Because obviously it shows fingerprints on the metal. But if you, yeah, it looks brand new. So real happy
we
with
did
how
good.
that turned out. Yep.
So is that pronounced cloisonne or
It's
cloison?
it's
Cloisonne.
cloisonne. Cloisonne.
Cloisonne, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so then blue, and then Mike, you get,
Tailings.
yep.
This is unfortunate.
That's the contract for hauling off the big pile of stuff that's left. It's like, yeah, whatever.
These
Give
random
you the
bones,
mic
here
when
you
you're
go. Do what you can.
None of these fit together.
We'll just make a new dinosaur.
Right.
That's
All
like
right.
a lot, right?
So
It's
now we resolve here in that order. So red, do you wish to flip any face up? It can be from as many as you want from one period.
Yes.
They do not have to be all of a period.
Kind of got.
There you go.
That
Yeah,
going on.
you're just missing the middle of Steggy. All right. Then white, you're up. And the reason this matters in this order is the advantage of going here first. I get to see what they flip over, and maybe that impacts what I do. Oh, so all from the same period, but two different dinosaurs, it looks like. Okay. And you'll notice they're all color-coded as well. And then for me, I just wanted to show you guys what a full dinosaur looked like here. It looks a lot like, oh, no, that's not doing it justice. Right there. From the Jurassic period, we have that. I'm not completing anything yet, so I don't have to pronounce it.
No, you sell it however you want to.
I don't have to pronounce it yet. It's an easy one to pronounce, though. All right, so red, you get to look at the entire stack O requests, and then take one and give the other two to green, who gets to take one. And the last one will go back here and stay there.
Could have been in yesterday's game. That's Nessie.
Yes, it is. It is Nessie. Okay, so give those two to Mike. And then after that, we go into the final round, or the final thing, where anybody that has a completed specimen can fulfill a request or discard it for a museum exhibit. Okay, so this one will stay here now. All right, so museum exhibit. I didn't have a disc there, so I cannot do that. So we go into the next phase. So the only one with a completed dinosaur is moi. So if I have a request, I could fulfill it at this point. I elect not to, however. So that's it. Nobody else has a completed dinosaur. We go into the refill phase. The refill phase says, do this, refill this. Only two of them will go there, and then Matt and I will do our job over here. So one Triassic there, two here, none there because it already has two.
2, 1, 2.
And 2, 2, and 1. So now is about the time when players start considering, do I want to actually start looking for specific dinosaurs? So take for instance, in Matt's case, he's looking for part 2 of Steggy. He might want to go up here. Nathan is looking, I can't read that from that far, whatever it is. So he's looking for part 1 of whatever that is. So he might want to go there, etc. All right, cool. So we're in round 3. Here we go. Get it?
Yep.
Matthew's digging how the dino cards
0.
come together? Get
Yes,
it?
sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's digging it.
Oh, cool.
He's digging it. Okay.
My, oh,
Waka
my.
waka.
Try the veal. Be here all week.
All
You
week.
were here all month.
I like how
actually.
when you place
And
it,
thank you,
when you
Paul.
place it like this
Thank you.
too, it actually is complete. It's this little grayed out.
I know. No, it's
They did a really good job.
The graphic design on this is, and it's just cool, right? And I wonder. I think this game is basic enough to where you could play this with younger folk, to where maybe teach them a little bit
Yeah.
of how
or
this
eat
works.
little kids
Yeah.
that love dinosaurs
Right?
already.
Well, yeah. Who seriously? Did anybody here not love dinosaurs growing up as a kid?
Oh, what's not to love?
Right.
Exactly.
Seriously. Okay.
They don't
Playing
have
in the
wings.
dirt.
They're not quite dragons, but you know.
Yeah, they're pretty
That's
close.
pretty close.
But they were technically real. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Right. Are you saying dragons aren't real?
Unfortunately, it has not. There's no conclusive evidence to show that dragons were indeed real. But yeah.
And then look at that one when you're done, Mike. All right, so that was blue. Now yellow goes. Yellow's gonna go there. And then you can look at any 2 of the stacks.
Any 2 of the stacks.
Yeah. So if you want to look at this one, you can. Otherwise, wait for Mike to finish on those. And then red, you're up.
Yeah, given that
Central?
that took so long, we'll go right there.
Central. Okay. And remember, you only get 2 of them, Nathan.
It's a lot of A lot of people full up too, so there's not a lot of digging going on this turn.
Right.
It seems.
You see, there's kind of an ebb and flow to the game in that respect. So who is not played? Everybody has placed one, so it's going to go back to green. Which second would you like? To hell with the southern zone, he says.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? I couldn't grab it either.
The southern zone.
All right. What does Mike know?
And I apologize. How many requests can we have?
3. Once you get a 4th, you have to start discarding. Okay. So that was blue, so I'm up. Let me think here. Okay. Franny and Bev are arguing with you, Matt.
The dragons
Yeah.
are real.
Yeah.
I
Franny says.
I have no doubt that Beverly is arguing that.
Franny says, "Have you not seen the book that explains how dragons fly and why there are no fossils?" I guess there's a book that sells it.
Interesting.
Apparently
Hey,
so.
if you say it with confidence, people will believe it.
There are books about how the
Not-
Earth is flat too, but we don't.
Fair enough. Not saying you're wrong, Franny. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll jump in down there.
All right, so that's red. Back to green. So for the 3 of you, your first game, is it starting to click a little
Yeah.
bit? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, John Company, this is not.
There needs to be more promise cubes in this game.
Right, yeah, seriously. All right, so... And just as a reminder to everybody, you have to have fossils turned up, and then you have to have a request, or be able to have the request from here at the end of the next round or next phase, or go to the museum exhibition to be able to do that. So, for instance, green, just as a reminder, so you're going here. You go here when you have a completed specimen, okay? Which means you also have to have turned that specimen face up.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
Okay,
this turn?
so just,
Yeah, you can't get that in advance.
right.
I see.
So if you want to redo that, go ahead.
Let's
There
push
you go.
him up there.
Okay.
Well, he
all
would have
right.
been
It's your
on-
first game, so
So he would have been on 8. I would have been on 7.
oh, okay, cool. There we go. All right, good.
That will
So-
absolutely change what I do when I see what you've turned.
Obviously. Right.
All right, so we're at, let's
Matt.
see, white has 3, so Matt, yeah,
This is where we get rid of cards, right?
Correct.
it is.
So we'll do
Sean
that.
says, hey, Matt, you one of those round earthers? Unbelievable.
I know, right? Well, technically it's round either way. It's just how 3-dimensional is it? Is
Okay.
what we're arguing.
All right.
Oh my
Oh,
gracious.
this is awesome and horrible. I hope people know you're kidding, but
You never know.
yeah, I give the Peanut Gallery a lot of credit. So
All right, so this is my last one.
Oh, I like that idea, Tony. It's not bad.
but yeah, Tony, definitely stick around for the end of the game when we discuss that, and it's also when we review this game, that's going to be something I bring up as well. So
I hate doing this, but I'm going to the southern zone, even though I can't take a second card, because I gotta have the one on the bottom.
oh, interesting. There you go. Wasting an action to ensure that you get the card you need.
Yeah, because
See,
for
there you go.
some crazy reason, I'm digging into Triassic here.
Okay. Huh.
Yellow?
All right. Man, which way to go with this? I could make a case for turning stuff up. I could make a case for getting a request. I could make a case for going third because now I'm going to be pushed to fourth. but that's only for one space, so that doesn't feel as good. So I'm thinking maybe doubling up with my good friend Nathan over
Very
here.
Good.
All right. There we go. All right. So these have already been done.
Hmm?
So now we change turn order, so it goes red, blue, white, back of the bus.
Well, it didn't last long, did it?
All right. So top 3 cards. Nathan, sorry.
Oh, man.
And green can actually go ahead and
Hand me
start.
the one on the bottom.
Okay.
And if the
So
Earth,
there's
and
your
if the
first
Earth
one,
is
and I get
flat,
that.
it better be supported by elephants on the back of a turtle.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. So there. I cannot look at these yet, though, because I
one
have
turtle?
to go through these. So
One large
are they
turtle,
the
yeah.
2 here. So you.
I've looked, yep.
Okay. So
Yep,
you
that's
took
it.
them already. So it's these 2. So. So, just as a reminder for everybody that's watching at home, even though this is a completed specimen, that's still 2 fossils of my 6 face up. So I have 3 face down dirt, so I can have up to 3 dirt. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so that's these. And even if a card is quote unquote wasted, like, oh, I didn't get what I wanted, because that corresponds to
Publish.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, what's left here?
Those who can't teach, those who really can't publish.
We have discovered a minor archaeological offshoot of the Tyrannosaurus' 15th cousin from Tyrannosaurus.
And then they just wind down.
All right, fine.
I scored an NSF grant.
And give them back to me when you're done, Matt.
Look at what I have.
Oh, that's well done, Franny. Flat earthers have nothing to fear except sphere itself.
Oh, nice.
Try the veal,
Nice.
man. That is fantastic.
There's recognition due there.
Franny got jokes.
And green. There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't get it, so it comes
Yeah,
right here. But
tailings go
you
back.
can't even look at it.
Yeah, I can't even.
Rough.
I looked at it once already. so-
Okay. All right. So these are done. So wasted. So I am maxed out at my 6 as well. All right. Now blue, you must discard 1,
It has to
Minimum.
be of the same
and well, whatever you discard must be of the same period. Correct.
2 Triassic.
All right. So blue is going to move up 2 here, which is good enough to do nothing.
Yes.
And now you can look through those to purchase any of them for 2 points apiece.
No, thank you.
Okay, red, you're up. You must discard a minimum of 1 up to whatever.
2 Jurassic.
Okay, so red is going to move up 2, and now you can look at the 2. You can look at the whole stack to purchase if you want, including the ones that Amanda discarded, remember. It's free to look.
Yeah, might as well look, right?
Yeah, there's no downside. He was like looking at it like a
think it's
snake.
soliciting.
Strategically, not a good idea.
I don't think that's the sort of solicitation you get in an academic conference, but maybe it's held in Amsterdam. I'm going to hear from the
And we
Dutch
start at
folks, aren't
10.
Correct. Everyone's
go
at
back
10
to-
points, and
go
you would
back to
drop to 8 or 6 if you pulled 2, and they do not have to be from the same period. The reason that matters, like, if Amanda had gone there by herself and she was like, oh no, I don't want to discard any of these, she still has to discard 1, and then she could buy it back for 2 points.
I'm taking 2.
All right, so apparently, well, no. It could be the ones that he discarded. We will never know. Only the shadow knows. Blue, you're up. You can turn up
You took 2
1
Triassic
period,
cards.
any mix.
Just Easier than trying to dig for him.
Start player could be a silhouette of Jeff Goldblum. Nice.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Or him laying back with his shirt open. You know. That's it.
No.
Come on, that's classic meme right there.
Yeah, it sure is.
All right.
3.
Nope. Put them off to the sides like this. So they're all from the Cretaceous period.
Yes, they are.
All right, good to go. Green.
Yeah, it's
Changed everything, Amanda.
there's a animated GIF. He's laying back, and it's got Grant when Grant was leaning on the Triceratops and
Yeah.
listening to his breath, but he's leaning on him instead.
That's funny.
listening to his
That's
breath.
funny. Oh, we have a completed specimen.
Yep.
Nope, up a little higher. Hold on.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Push him right in there.
Cool. All right. Well done. So obviously all from one period. And blue gets to look at the whole stack. And pass that to Nathan, who gets to take one of them.
Watch it now. I don't know what I have anymore.
Who am I? I don't even know anymore.
Nathan gets to take one of
I
those.
get one, right?
All right, so now I have one. I'm going to get rid of my plesiosaurus.
There you go.
All right.
Dang.
So these are in alphabetical order. And so plesiosaurus, if you may. So this guy is out of the game. There we go. And actually we'll do like that. So there. So now that is the end of that phase. So now we go into the next phase, which is research funding. So in turn order, so starting with red, does not have a complete one. Blue does not have a complete one. White does not have a complete one. Green does. Would you like to fulfill a contract, i.e. a collector request?
Wish I could.
Okay, so he elects not to. So then yellow, I don't have any face up. However, I do have this wonderful museum exhibit of a plesiosaurus, which there is only one of them, which means 3 points, because I only have one of these exhibits. So I'm going to score 3 points. So, woo, crushing you fools for now. There we go. There you go. That's how it works. That's how scoring is. So now we go into the next round. So refill phase there. Now we're in round, what are we? 4, so it's still
So only 2.
3, and then here. So now this one we need to be careful, because there's a Jurassic left. So it's going to be 1 Triassic underneath, then the Jurassic, then a Jurassic. Okay. Then this deck actually wasn't touched, was it? And then there, both the Triassics are existing, 2 Jurassics, and a Cretaceous, 1 there, none there, and 2 there.
How many Jurassic in the central dig?
The Jurassic, there is 1.
Okay.
Can you hear? I'll try and move it. So just to reiterate, because I know it's a little hard for you to see over there, Mike, it's 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1.
Gotcha.
So each of them has one stack that where there's
clinker.
only one. Okay. Cool. All right, Red, you're up. All right, start digging. All right, blue.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
And you can look through 2 of them. Do
No,
wanna
do you
look-
want the
I
first
don't know
one?
yet. Hang on, let me look.
Okay, white.
No. I'm gonna do the bottom too.
And, all right. So, sloppy thirds again.
I'm
Nathan.
fine with that, man. What am I doing?
Just remember where you took him from, guys.
Central.
Oh, did he choose wisely? Did he?
We'll never know. I won't talk.
We have ways of making you talk.
And it's the yellow team's placement. No, it's not.
No, it's
The
not.
yellow's gone.
Yep.
Back to me.
It's
Yep.
right.
It is.
Wow. Central. You guys should have gone there last turn. It's the same one, same dirt. They're not
Things
making
have
more.
changed since then.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? White?
Oh, is that me?
Hey, Renard.
Hey, welcome, Runar. So everything, now that you guys have seen all aspects of
There's
this,
still a Triassic.
does it make sense? You guys able to follow along pretty well?
Publish.
There?
Yep.
Okay.
Hello.
It's a bit of a wasted round for me because I'm maxed out here at 6. Can't really do much.
Yeah, did the exact same thing last time, but I was
Oh.
able to put myself in a pretty good position for
Right.
this.
I
Yeah.
forgot that I am too. Crap.
Oh,
Oh, your card locked.
yeah, you can't do
Mhm.
anything.
Yep.
Well, at least you only put one down there.
So where are we?
It's
Red?
me.
No? Okay.
No, it's not. No, it is Matt.
Yeah, it's Matt. Yeah.
I won't go there.
Oh, that's a wise choice.
Mhm.
Good call.
Can that come before this? Just this one?
Just this one?
time.
White team.
It's white. Turn dirt into gold.
Ooh, exhibit. Oh, all right. What are we doing? I haven't a clue. I keep wanting. I'm like, oh, there's open. No, stay away. All right, fine. Start working on those for next turn.
And if this completes one for me, can I then go there and then?
If it does, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so I will.
In fact, that would be a good because in the order in which they
Mhm.
resolve, sure, it makes sense, right? Blue. Sean says, "Yep, makes sense. How much I would like to own a copy of this game." Thanks, Edward.
Planning, please.
Now I know you. It's hard to infer tone on the internet, but I think I nailed that one. Is that right, Sean? Thanks.
Well, if you'd like
Edward.
a copy, you just have to bug them to make more, right?
Right.
That's how this works.
I happen to know people.
I can give you
so-
an email address.
No, I'm serious. There's.
Dig it to the bottom.
Stop me if you've heard this before.
Love those tailings.
Right. But no, the best way to do it is make sure there's a buzz about it, guys and gals. Just talk about it on social media, talk about it on BGG, tell the publisher you saw our playthrough, et cetera, and
That's
spread
right.
the word about it. And that's how things work. We probably ought to turn
That's
some
how
stuff
we-
face up.
That's how we work on getting boxes of rocks reprinted.
Yep. By 2020, it's
Can't
happening.
Wait. Can't wait.
So, okay, hold on. So, Mike, you've played it, right? Have you?
No, I have not. I saw it.
You saw it being
Yes.
played. Did you play
Oh, I
it?
played it. Oh, I played it.
A
You
lot
are-
better than what meets the eye at the beginning,
Oh, it's
doesn't
so
it?
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Among
all
the
right.
initiated.
Talking about Hinkle and Stein, by the way, which you'll probably see in January. Hashtag spoiler. All right, so these are done.
White
All
gets the top card.
There we go. And then blue and
And I'm back at the tailings again.
Nathan, you get one card.
Cool. This is it. Right here. That's the one.
Make it count.
It's a great card.
All right.
Send me the stack.
And you get first and last licks,
Okay, I swear there's something in here matches.
in theory. Okay, actually, I can go ahead and start to save a little bit of time here. So I'm going to start looking at my discards. Just green cannot go until they've selected their card there.
Next is red team.
Do you want to look at?
I can look at them again. That's about it.
No, you cannot
I
stop.
cannot look at
You
them again?
cannot. You cannot take the action.
Oh,
So I get 200.
I already looked at them.
Okay. But no, I'm just.
So
Well,
I
I'm
have a
saying,
choice
look
of
at
two
them.
cards.
Yeah.
I get the tailings and the last stuff in the
So
sifter.
I want to put that back. So Cretaceous. So let's look at the other Cretaceous card. Really? Ugh. So I either want to discard 3 cards or discard 1, huh? I'm not discarding
Ooh.
3.
Daddy like.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to the central dig.
Well, you're gonna get
Well, it looks like I'm only discarding 1. So there. So yellow jumps up there. But now I can look at the other cards that are in there as well. Terrible. I mean, no, just not worth it to me, so I'm not going to take any. So that is here. So now you must discard a card. Did you screw something up?
Not a big deal, but yeah.
Okay.
This Cretaceous card is going in.
Okay.
Just making sure I don't want to.
Good. I'm glad it's making sense and people are digging it. So that's cool. All
We're
right.
going to throw in
I,
2 cards.
Okay. Oh, wait. You threw in what kind of card the first
Oh,
time?
it all has to be the same.
It does. It
page.
must be the same period.
There will be 1 card going.
Okay. All right. So that's moved. So once you're done, Mike, if you select any of them, just let us know. So I get to turn face up now.
I'm required to select one, am I not?
no.
No, you are not. You are required to discard 1. That is all.
I will take 1.
Okay, so you move back 2 points.
You are blue, green.
Correct.
There we go. Wow. And turning these face up must be from the same period per action. Okay, so 2, 2, 1. All right. All right, I'm cool with that. I'll go ahead and turn these 2 face up. So I have 3 left, 3 dirt. And then I will turn that up and that up. There we go. Cool. And there we go. So everybody can see stuff. Cool. So that's yellow. And you are not obligated to take the action, by the way. So if you see something that somebody does and you don't want to turn it face up, you don't have to. So white, 1 period's worth of cards.
We're turning them up.
Oh.
We're turning them up.
All right. You want to fix that dinosaur?
Oh man,
Totally backwards.
inverted.
You seriously?
inside out.
There we go. Very nice. All right. So that is white, red.
Wasn't that one? Which one was it? Who was that one? It might look familiar. It's a plesiosaurus.
I'm not pleased at that, actually. So here, let's do this. There and there. All right. You move your own disc. All right. So get to look at all 3 of these. Let's see. Gonna select that one. Shuffle these up. Okay. White.
Okay.
So what kind of dinosaur is the exhibit, sir?
It's an excellent question, Edward. This is a Parasaurolophus.
Paracephalus.
Paracephalus.
No, that's a
Parasaurolophus.
Parasaurolophus.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
A
All right.
Parasaurolophus.
So discard the specimen, sir. And the museum appreciates your fine work. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
But we'll jump ship at the first opportunity to replace
If you
your
would throw it up
dusty
here,
old
so-
skeleton.
There you go. Yes, that is exactly it. So that's white. Red?
Speaking-
I'm sorry, green. It's your turn.
Speaking of, can I have that plesiosaurus, please?
Oh, all right. Since you said plesiosaurus, there you go.
With a bright, shiny new plesiosaurus.
And there is a 3rd set, so somebody else can steal it from Matt. There's the risk of taking that early. Wow, that hurt. Okay.
All right,
So that was red.
Plateosaurus on display. the Guggenheim West.
All right. All right, so we go into a scoring round or scoring phase. So let's see. I don't have any. Blue doesn't have. Does anybody have a completed dinosaur? Nobody has a completed dinosaur.
Everybody turn theirs in.
All right, so now
Get our
green
plan, I guess,
is
with
going. Hold on. Green is going to get their points. 1, 2, 3. Red is now going to get his 3 points, and white will get 3 points as well. And blue is at 10. Cool. That makes sense. So, all right. So we go into the 5th round now. Important to note, things change a little bit here. There are now 4 request cards that
How
end
many
up
are there
going
in, or how many are in there right now?
There are 2.
Okay, there's 2 more.
And now, I don't believe this deck was ever touched, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope.
Yeah, it was. I thought. No, that was the turn before. My bad. Sorry. Disregard.
All right, so Triassic there. So we need 1 more Triassic. We need 1 Jurassic and 2 Cretaceous.
No, Jurassic.
And then, what do we got there?
Just one on top. He just took
Oh,
one
that's
off top.
right. Yep,
Yep.
1 off the top. Just a little off the top, he says. All right. Ready to rock and roll. Yellow, you're up. Okay. Well, yeah, I think it's time for me to start looking.
Same for me, please.
Well, I think the last one. I'm just gonna look at this one.
Oh my
That's the only
goodness.
one I need.
You mean I'm gonna have to dig in the dirt randomly?
Just
Really?
Yep.
can't get it off the board.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You want that one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then after you're done with that one, I want that one. Please.
Yeah, okay. Hail Mary. Northern dig.
Nope.
No, no,
No.
no.
Uh-oh.
No.
I'll be happy to go twice. I will permanently sacrifice that disc to go twice.
Edward, hypothetical question.
Hypothetical answer.
Okay.
No.
Let's say we have 1 dinosaur
You have 1 dinosaur.
that could fulfill 2 requests. Can I do that? Is
What?
that possible? No. Okay.
Because when you fulfill a request,
Uh-huh.
you discard the dinosaur. So to
Okay.
fulfill the second one, you don't have a
Makes sense.
dinosaur anymore.
Yeah, that collector goes and sticks it in a closet. You ain't getting it back.
That's
Yep.
totally hypothetical.
Totally.
Of course.
I get that.
We could add the heist expansion.
It's nice to have so many options.
Right. Hey, Cormac, welcome.
The Ocean's
Red.
13 expansion, right? Steal the dinosaur back and sell it to the second collector. As long as they don't run in the social circles, same social circles, they'll never know.
Man.
I would
Yeah,
imagine the
yeah.
dinosaur collector would probably stick to their own kind.
Inconceivable.
This game's going places, guys.
Inconceivable.
My God, I have to make another decision. And I can take 1 card. I think maybe we should consider restoring some fossils.
So I can take up to 3. Okay.
Publish. Good plan.
Rojo.
My oh my. Planning.
So here's my question now.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, if someone were to go into the geological survey and they want to look in a subsequently because they forget, could they do so?
I had that same question,
Let's
but I
see.
never did it.
So runner, yes, that is a challenge coin at the bottom center.
So for geological survey,
I'm-
next page, right there.
Resolve immediately. Doesn't
Resolve
say.
immediately,
Yeah.
right? Nah. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna. Oh God. Okay. Done. Gulp.
I know the feeling.
What kind of cards do you have? Dirt do you have there, Edward?
I have 2 Cretaceous and 1 Triassic, sir, and then I have 2 Jurassics face up. Although technically you did ask for the dirt, so 2 Cretaceous and a Triassic.
Okay.
White.
Is taking dirt compulsory when you have a disc on a dig?
You and your tough questions.
Not if you're full up, it's not.
Because I'm back to the same place I was before. There I have 5 loads of dirt. And I want to make sure I have
Do you
the
have to
dirt
take the
on it.
first one?
You resolve this action starting with the assistant in Northern Zone's first action space. Take a number of fossil cards equal to the number of assistants. Look at the cards and choose one. It doesn't say you may or may not. It says choose one.
That sounds compulsory.
It sounds that way to me, sir.
Let's take a request.
Might I suggest to say, plan better. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Bring that right over here.
Okay. All right. So these are done. All right. So green becomes first. I'm okay with that as long as he was the only one that went there. Green. Would you like to see 4 of these, sir?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Now,
Choose poorly, please.
Can I choose mine since I'm the only one?
You may, since you're not there. So again, it's all but the bottom one as well. And I cannot look at those yet.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Could have just given those to Matt. No, you can't. Never mind.
Not yet.
Nope.
All right. There we are.
All right. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, whew. All right. So green and yellow here. We have a board for that.
Don't have that particular look.
And I get 2 of these. And I get 2 of these. All right. Done. All right. So I saw a question
Take
in
whatever
here.
crap you have left.
That's it.
All right. So that was. These are done.
Yeah.
Blue, you already went.
Correct.
Red now. Once you, well, you're done, right? So you get the top 3 of these and give whatever leftovers to
Whites.
Nathan. To answer your question, Marcus, he says on the museum cards, how exactly would you score for 2 or 3? You need 2 or 3 completed specimens, so you need 2 or 3 different actual museum exhibits to be able to score the 5 or 10 points respectively. Both those go to white. And now, so you have, I assume, 6, Nathan,
Yep.
now?
I'm maxed out.
All right, you are compelled to discard a minimum of 1. Remember, it's all the same type. Yep, same period. All right. Good looking out, though, Bev. Appreciate it. Now that we have a faster internet, the comments come quicker. I've noticed.
That is good.
It's amazing what 42 or so meg upload will do. All right, so you deposited?
Yep, and I get to look, right?
You do.
Yeah, it's amazing what the inefficiency of
How
modern
many-
web
well, how many-
design is
right.
like,
How
given
many
that
did you discard?
that only
Just
is
one.
about
Just one.
Just one.
300 baud
There we go.
for the chat.
Every round, correct. So the advantage of museum scoring is you get it every round. The downside of museum scoring is what happened to me with my good friend, Matt. Thief.
Blame the cards. They randomly showed up in my hand and they just
Okay.
We
Take
just
the
look
one.
begged to be
magical together.
completed.
All right, so 2 points for white goes back.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
I am,
Deposit one so I can take another.
I am discarding 1.
Okay, so Amanda goes up 1. Your limit now, Amanda, is 7. 7 fossils and 7 sediment. Before everybody jumps on that boat, Runar, I would ask everyone to pause until we discuss it at the end of the game.
Okay, so now I can turn up some.
Yes,
fossils.
1 from 1 period. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's do Triceratops. He's missing his middle.
I was gonna say he's the runt of the litter.
And Spinosaurus. He's missing his butt.
All right.
Those are both Cretaceous.
Okay, cool. So take that back. Red, you're up.
I'm gonna turn over Soros.
New leaf.
Sorrowsuckus. He suckus because he didn't have all his parts yet.
All right.
This guy.
All right. And green.
All right, so if I turn over all 6, that means I can't complete a
Well,
skeleton.
you can't turn over all 6
Unless they're all from the
unless
same.
they're all from the same period.
Ah, yes. Excellent. I was going to do it this way anyhow.
Yeah. You're not
What
the
I-
boss of me.
What I intended.
You're not my real
all along. My real mom.
Parasaurolophus. Yes.
Parasaurolophus.
It looks like a complete dinosaur. He's just missing 2 of his legs.
He's bipedal.
Yeah.
All right. Done. All right. Collector requests. Mike, you're the only one.
You're a Jurassic 4-parter, huh? Easy decisions.
All right. So now we go in turn order. Would anybody like to complete a request that does anybody have a complete dinosaur? Nobody does.
Nope.
We can skip that. So here we go. Red's going to get 3 points for his. 1, 2, 3. White and green each have 1 as well. 1, 3 points. Amanda doesn't have any. I don't have any. We're done. Into the 6th round. We need to fill up the requests. Total of 4 cards. There are 3 in there, so it needs 1. Matt, if you'll give me a hand. We have, let's see, we have 2, nope, hold on. We have Triassic and 2 Jurassic, so we need 2 Cretaceous. Go ahead, start on the top one if you would.
Alright. 1, 2.
So 2 Triassic. 1 Jurassic.
I did those upside down. They were right side up to me.
There we go. All right, everyone good? Starting with green.
Survey. Shocker.
Did you play shuffleboard much?
You'd think so. So hand
a good
me
job.
a stratum. A Lagerstätten.
Yep.
Survey as well.
Ein Lagerstätten.
Hello, Igor from Croatia. Good stuff. All right.
Prodigy joke there. Okay.
Have you played this one yet,
Who
Igor?
is this guy?
So we're at blue, red. You're up.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
So is this the first or second?
Nächste
This is
Lagerstätten.
north or
Yes.
central?
That
North.
is the northern.
So just to be clear, for fossil restoration, you can flip over as many from the same period.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Now, if you had multiple discs here, you could, that's
Multiple
separate
periods.
actions, right?
Yep.
So you could go like Cretaceous and then Triassic if you would like.
One step
your
ahead,
turn,
but
Okay, all right, all right, all right.
Wow. And
So that's red, now white, so back to green after
next,
you're done.
No, it's a 3-part dinosaur. That's all it ever was. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. All right, so you're up, Mike. And Amanda, did you look at your second stack?
I did.
Okay.
Publish.
nice.
Um, okay, now it's your turn. Thank you. Hey! What's
You already
up
know.
there?
You already know.
All right. So hold on. It went
Snap.
white. Yeah, red.
Oh my bad, I skipped you.
Yeah.
You can
It's
go on the
alright.
spot if you want.
All right. There we go. Does that change what you wanted to do?
No, I'm good.
Dig.
Same one.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Dang it, I did it again. Go.
No, not really. I can't. I do need to figure out what I need to do, though.
Bye, Tony.
Oh, okay. Take care, Tony. Do me a favor before you run. We're going to talk about that at the end. If you would, either write up a blog or shoot me an email afterwards and tell me what you thought about our final thoughts, if you would. Please, Tony. Thanks. Take care. Thanks for joining us. All right. So that was yellow, then blue, red.
Your mic is kind of buried, baby.
Hmm?
Your mic is kind of buried in your shirt.
Oh, sure. There we go. Better? All right, cool.
Wait a second, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm maxed out.
Discard more cards when you go up here. Get you that flexibility. I like that limiting factor in this. Except when you're limited.
Then it
Take a
sucks.
peek.
All right.
Let me see what's up.
And while he's peeking green,
Dig in the south. Deeper.
we must go down. Oh, snap!
Oh, really? That's a revolt in development.
Oh, actually, hold on. Nope, you only have to go there once, because you can do this as many times as you would like, regardless of the period. So if you'll forgive me, I'll go there.
Okay.
It's unnecessary. And white, bring it home.
Okay.
All right, cool. So we've done these.
Survey is complete. Did not like what I saw.
Red is first.
Ground penetrating radar is busted.
And blue, you get the top two. Enjoy them. And then blue, you get to look at the top three. And give the other two to Mike, please. And red, you must discard one when you publish. Minimum of one.
Oh yeah.
If you discard, at least one, you're going up to 7. You're
How
allowed.
about 3?
Ooh.
They
One,
were
two,
hot
and
garbage.
3. Yeah, they apparently. And now. Hey Andy, he's asking if anyone's made a Triassic yet. I don't think so.
That's a Triassic.
Is it? Plateosaurus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dug all the way to the bottom. for
Yep.
that
So to
son
answer
of
your
a gun.
question, yes, someone has, Andy.
Yeah,
All of mine are the
unfortunately,
first level.
most of those are hot garbage too.
All right.
Garbage.
Green. Must discard at least one.
Two.
Two. So you are now at limit of 7. And Matt, wait until Mike is chosen because it might influence what he purchases before you can turn yours face up. No, Matt does not lose any research funding because he did not select any cards, so he doesn't lose any research funding.
Yeah.
And remember, this, Mike, is not limited to the period, so you can select over multiple periods.
This was. Wow. I don't like anything in there.
I know, right?
Apparently,
All right.
Matt didn't either.
Bunch of
Okay.
hot garbage.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited about it now because that might mean some of the stuff I have. So
Watch
Matt,
out.
go ahead. You can flip yours if you wish.
Just the one.
All right. Another third part of
Yeah.
a third dinosaur. Whew, words. Nathan,
Step out momentarily.
what do you have there?
The Ichthyosaurus.
It looks like an armadillo.
It's amphibious fish.
All right. So that's yours.
That's me.
Then I will go ahead and flip over a Jurassic card, the Ichthyosaurus.
I heard it in your voice when I flipped it. I heard it.
And that's done. Okay. And your honor again, sir.
All right. That's gonna be funny. Watch this. The Arizonasaurus.
Which, when I saw that the first time, I was like, really? That's really what it's... Yeah, that's really what it's called. And for me,
The Arizonasaurus.
That'd be so good.
That would be awesome.
I will flip over from the Cretaceous period, the Pterodon. There we go. Okay. So that's that. All right. So now, Red, you get to look at the whole stack, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Select poorly. Yep, Andy has the game actually. We heard about it in Slack how his copy disappeared along with, I think, PAX Renaissance disappeared at PAX Unplugged, but apparently they have since found their way home. So that's good to hear.
Have fun, Matthew.
All right, take care, Matthew.
Talk to you
Thanks for
later.
joining us. Yeah, I know. Select that one. Sir, you get to keep one.
I get one, right?
Oh, Nathan's on the ball. Love it.
Fits in well.
Ooh. See how that goes.
Okay. All right. So now I have an interesting decision. So we have a Jurassic, we have a Cretaceous. Do I wish to? Or I could turn them both. Math, real quick. I like not to do any of them.
Interesting.
Done. All right, so now we go in turn order. Who has completed dinosaurs here?
Oh, I do.
So let's see. No red. So it's just you and I, right? So I'm first. So in turn order, I will complete that Cretaceous for the pterodon, and then I will complete the Ichthyosaurus for the Jurassic for the any period. So that's going to be a total of 17 research funding. So I'm at 13. We go to 30. And those two go away. And that's out of the game. And done. Sir?
I'm going to complete the Arizonosaurus for the Triassic period.
Which is going to be,
It's going to be 10.
10 for white. So
And then
24
any period for the Ichthyosaurus for 7 more.
to 31, sir.
Very nice.
Somebody's closer. Well done. All right. So then we get scoring for end of round stuff. So it looks like now white's going to get 3 more, green's getting 3, and red's getting 3. Blue,
Womp womp.
pretty much. New round, fill these. So now we are in round 7, so it's going to be a total of 5
There's
requests.
only 2 left.
Okay, so there will only be those, and that's it. We do not reshuffle in anything that's been used. So all of these that have been completed are out of the game. So then we go in here, so Triassic, so 1 there, 2 Jurassic, 2 Cretaceous, and did we have any in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, none there, and 2 Triassic and a Jurassic, so 2 Cretaceous.
I will try
There.
Bongo.
All right, Red, your honor, penultimate round. All right, Cock Bongo, take care. Cormac,
Right in behind you.
thanks.
Ooh, almost
Take
got
care.
it.
If it isn't,
Babe,
if it isn't obvious, I need very specific cards.
Take your first
Yeah, go ahead and
strap.
start
Oh, yeah,
selecting. You know what? If it's hot garbage, somebody's got to want that stuff, right?
My thoughts exactly.
Green, would you like to look at the top deck?
No, I'd like to look
Okay.
at the bottom 2.
Okay, and Amanda, which would you like to look at? So both of them will look at this one, and both of them will look at this one.
What was filled in? What did you just restock? The top didn't get anything.
I think there were 2 Cretaceous, and I think there was
Hand
1
that over.
Jurassic and 2 Cretaceous.
Okay.
I think.
I want to look at the middle one.
Okay.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciated.
So where are we? We're at red. Now that you've looked at them all, go
And
ahead.
I'll look at the bottom one now.
I'll take that one when you're done.
Green.
Wow.
That's the bottom. All right, Runar, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Bottom one.
Right, so it's
Yep,
Back to me.
yep.
Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
Yes. Let's dig in the southern one.
Yellow, you're up. Okay. Yeah, why not? You guys aren't there. Let's try it. Blue?
Planning, please.
Blanco.
I'm just piggybacking off
That's
you the
what
whole
I'll
way.
ask. Which sucks for me. Stop
Right.
that. It's red.
Green.
Central.
Yellow.
Serious archaeology is serious, or paleontology, right? Yeah. Serious paleontology is serious.
Mm-hmm.
So that was white, so red. Oh, okay, cool. All right, sounds good, Igor. Yeah, I
I just got to remember what I saw in which pile now.
right. So
Okay.
I'm gonna reiterate to everybody that there's no reprint coming of this as it is right now. So if you're interested in this, you need to talk about it. You need to spread the word, tell folks about the playthrough and everything. We're going to be reviewing this. So spread the word and make there a demand for a reprint if that's so, something that you guys want. I cannot stress that enough, how important that is, because otherwise this just isn't going to happen.
Tailings.
Cool. Happy to help, Andy. I'm glad. Yeah. That's kind of what, I mean, the idea of this game and what this game represents, that obscure, small publisher, not a lot of people are going to be talking about it. That was kind of the premise of what the show started about to begin with, to highlight these games. It's not to rub people's noses in, oh, we got a copy, you don't. It's, hey, check out this game, and if there's enough demand, let's get it reprinted so that can happen, because otherwise it would never happen, right? There's going to be a game coming up in 2 weeks on a playthrough called Turin Market that is going to be very similar. That's exactly what happened. People demanded it. It's going to get a reprint now. So, all
That's
right,
it.
so we're done. All
Survey's
right, so
done.
these are done. Survey says, move on. All right, so blue and white.
Blue, white.
So much for that, piggybacking, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
piggybacked off of all Eulers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. All right, so all 5 on this deck.
All right, so it's going to be a minute, so I'm going to go grab some more coffee.
Okay. Oh, I know you guys are gonna love this. Right hand is deck. Okay. Really? Okay. And this goes to white.
Yep.
So I took
Red.
one out of the Triassic.
Red can take the
Nope,
bottom.
cannot.
scatter.
Not until that goes.
Oh, you're right. He's there. They are not independent.
Cormac asks, how do you find games like this, Edward?
Go to cons. Talk to all publishers.
No, it's not really that, honestly. It's more or less just do my due diligence and dig and find out. It's a lot.
Glory to Rome,
Good
Edward.
pun. Good pun.
Oh, did I take what you wanted?
You know you did.
I really. On accident, actually. I actually did not do it intentionally, which makes it worse somehow. I know.
Yeah.
And hand those
That
over
hurt.
to me.
You know what's really funny is I actually took it thinking it might be in there. But now, in hindsight, had I paid attention,
You probably would have taken it anyway.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have done something that helped me more because that hurts us both. It doesn't help either one of us. You know what I mean? So, no, it definitely was not intentional. And now red.
Well, at least I know the one that I want is in here.
Okay, so there's that at least. All right, so pass that to green, please. So honestly, it's just spending a lot of time doing homework and searching around and talking to people, and that's some of it. Some of these, now this specific one, I saw on BGG, and I just it piqued my interest, and that's it. So. But there are definitely, I mean, obviously being in the industry, it helps having connections, being able to talk to people, getting inside information. This is not one of those. This is just, it was out there. It was in the SN list. And it's just stuff like this that, you know, it doesn't have minis. It doesn't, I mean, look at the artwork on the box, right? Or the board. This isn't going to be mainstream. Right? I mean, this is not going to be the type of game that a lot of other shows are going to be interested in covering, and this
Not very flashy.
no, it's not, but that's okay because it's substance over
Yes.
you know, aesthetics. Although the aesthetics I think are totally fine on this. It's just plain. So thank you. So yeah, just it's a matter of just digging into it and looking in a lot of times.
There's your card from the Cretaceous.
Which one is that, Lom Doctor? Okay.
Publish, sir.
All right. So I got to get rid of some of this, huh? At
Yeah, feel
least.
free to throw that one in there.
Which I'm tempted because then you would get it at the last round, but
I don't know if these dinosaur bones here have spent more time in the ground or in my warehouse.
okay. So I'm going to get rid of, so potentially that, but that would be the, oh, it could be this one as well. I'm
Oh,
going
it's
to, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 2 Triassic cards up there, which goes, now my limit is 7 as well. So everybody's limit is 7 currently except for white. And I'll go digging. Don't look, Amanda. Just saves time this way.
These bones don't match up by the end of the game. I'm just going to create Piltdownosaurus.
A hybrid.
That kind of would be fun, actually, to just take all the 4s and all the 3s and just make mutant dinos.
All right.
Mutant dinosaurs aren't any fun unless you can mount like guns on them.
That's true.
Then you got something.
All right, so I'm going to select 2 cards. So it's going to be 4 points total.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I just did
2,
that.
3,
Hold on,
4.
I just screwed up.
Put
These-
your
yeah,
cards in there.
those are mine. Make sure that's what I want to do. Yep, it is. Okay, so you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
discard
yeah.
first, sir.
My bad. Okay.
All right, so I selected 2 from the Triassic.
Get rid of that one. 1 from Triassic. Sorry.
That's all right.
That's a really exclusive conference you guys are hogging up over there.
Man, you guys.
It's the gamma of,
Yeah, they just-
or the gathering, the gathering,
gathering.
the gathering of paleontologists
Yeah,
is
they,
what it
they
is.
go and trade bones.
Right.
That doesn't sound right.
Do they wear like animal hats? I don't know.
Oh, Spielworks. Now, on that note, so the fact that he does limited print runs, but you have to also understand, Lom Doctor, that he does so with the intent of licensing the games out to other publishers that will reprint so that so that it gets reprinted. So that's an intentional thing. Now, granted, you might have to wait a year, 18 months, but it will more than likely come back out. I mean, we know that's going to happen with, well, I guess that was Kalimala, so never mind, that was ADC, but you get the idea. So most of
Right,
them will
Matt?
get reprinted.
Restoration.
Yes. We will finally complete the Stegosaurus.
Oh.
No, we won't.
I did that too.
Oh, that
I'll flip it
sucks.
over anyway.
I did that earlier.
That sucks. Yeah,
Ugh.
that's what you were
I was
grimacing.
so mad at myself.
I didn't even notice it till just now.
Oops.
Oh, no.
Blue.
All right.
He got 2 tails.
It's a mutant.
I'm actually.
I saw green, I just got excited.
Yeah. I'm going to do 3, but they're all from the Cretaceous period. So his very end of his tail. I will complete the Triceratops
Nice.
and add more to the Tyrannosaurus.
All right.
So then now I will look through the requests.
Hey, Dave. Welcome.
All right.
What thinky filler is that?
North American Railways, maybe. So I now is when I can fulfill my request,
now,
right?
Now we go. Oh, you're first. Yes. Now you can complete requests if you wish to. And
I
put it up here so folks can see it.
am going to do this one, a 3-part from the Cretaceous period. So that would be my Triceratops for 10
Yep.
points.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Next. So that's it. So does anybody else have a completed dinosaur?
No. Unless a collector wants a Stegosaurus with 2 butts.
Well, Dave said that it's the famous Duoteleosaurus.
There you go. An excellent
Nice.
display specimen. Well done. He's only been here for 2 seconds, but when he
Right off
shows
the bat.
up,
Captured
let's go. Right?
captured the theme of the game right there.
All right. So there's no more requests. We will go ahead and refill here, or if you will, refill.
Refill. That means refill in the ground.
You're right. There you go. Right. And 2 Cretaceous, 2 Cretaceous. And did the top not get touched?
It did
I don't
not.
think so.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Blue. Final round. Bring it home. Remember, final scoring is where you end up. White.
Glory to Rome. Okay, let's dig. Let us dig in the south.
A moment. So how many do we have here? I'm allowed 7. I have 6. Better make it count, huh? We'll start in the south looking.
I'm not looking, I'm just digging.
All right, Nathan?
Yeah.
Next.
Dig in the middle.
Digging in the middle.
Are you kidding me? Alright, somebody's been holding on to it the whole game. And I hate you all. Just so you know.
I know exactly what you're looking for too. Put so much money on it.
Well, that didn't work out. Hold on. Your turn. Okay, white. Red. Green.
going here.
This one time, teacher prerogative.
9.
Let's go crash an academic
Right.
conference.
Right? Why not? Blue. That's cool. Andy says building the T-Rex in this game was one of my most satisfying gaming accomplishments.
I could see that.
Yep. So I will say this, on that note, there was some in here, I have some, but I was missing one and I went a different direction. I think I should have gone T-Rex.
I thought about T-Rex too.
Yeah.
Well, I have one, but it's not working out.
That was
It's
blue,
me.
white, okay.
I don't know, whatever. Let's dig.
Just in case I do find something that matches.
Just in case I do find something that matches.
Right.
Well, we seem to be in the
That's
same
funny. I
mindset.
did the exact same thing.
It's optimism, not speculation.
Right.
Come on, guys, keep digging in the
You
center.
know what?
Dig in the
Actually,
center.
this might matter.
Oh, that's
for
the
me.
wrong move. Dig in the
right.
center.
So this is done. Green. 1, 2, 3. 3 licks to get to the center of the Jurassic period.
It's like all kinds of dinosaurs we can pair up here, so something has to. Something has to, right?
No.
Something has. None of these cards are the same dinosaur. This is amazing.
I got the same dinosaur, just the same parts. Spares in case he gets a flat. You know.
Amazing.
There's
Unless he gets a flat.
Yeah.
He loses a spike on his tail.
Now I
or-
could see that like as a defensive move early on. If you put one in there, but just flip over one to have it in front of you to keep it there. Just be like, haha, you ain't getting the.
I actually did that, and I'll talk about that when we get to the end of the game. Like, I had duplicates that I kept intentionally so that I learned my lesson early from what you did. I was like, yeah, that's not happening again.
I get both of those.
Yep. And then green gets the whole kit and caboodle.
And surely one of these, at least the name will match, right? Surely.
I'm positive, and don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Nice.
Oh, match the name. Give him the
That's
red.
the name.
All right.
And we'll talk at the end, Dave, about that here shortly. I don't care what people say about you. I think you're okay. All right.
Me too.
All right. Everyone drives home in a Cadillac.
Everybody's a
Awesome.
winner.
All right. Well, not really, but we'll be happy about it. Blue, discard, ma'am. 1. You're still at 7. And
She's
you
gonna-
have 1 dirt right now.
She's going to throw down like 3 complete dinosaurs out of that.
I hope so, because
Body
that would be cool to
But
see.
they'd all have to be from the same period, though.
There's most
No,
of the
they do
T-Rex
not.
on
Not in
there.
the take.
Not in the take,
But in
the
the
turn
flip.
up, correct, yes. Which then makes it a cow's opinion, right?
Right.
It's moved.
I may be in the same position. Being extremely lucky and getting what I needed out of that. And not having to go dig for it.
I hate you all.
Still hot garbage, huh?
Yeah. Never liked any of you anyway.
So, are you
Just
not
a minute.
taking any?
Just a
Sorry.
minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Conference wieners. Still digging over all those same dinosaurs from 50 years ago.
I got a head. I got a tail. Go fish.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. If you want to play with this kid, you could definitely like do a Go Fish version of this.
Right.
That really sucks.
Red. So, no points for Amanda.
Oh,
No soup for you.
But No, I mean it's not. That one is in there. But
You're going to really complain? I hooked a brother up. You're welcome.
my only complaint is I got what I needed elsewhere and
Oh.
didn't actually need to do that.
Well,
So
all right.
I
So
won't
green.
take the points.
Look, I found the head end of the Ichthyosaurus.
That's the third Ichthyosaurus and final Ichthyosaurus.
Uh-huh. I've got a lot of other hot garbage here I could turn over, but
As long as it's from the same period.
yeah, it's moot though.
Okay, that's green. Red?
There it is. Hey, Stegosaurus found his middle.
All right. Which tail?
If
All right,
that one.
all
It's the
right.
one it's the one that's been with me longest.
Has seniority.
Yeah.
Blue?
That tail has seniority. You don't hear that every day.
Right. And I know I have it in here somewhere. There we go. And for my second complete pterodon,
Uh-huh.
this is the one that I kept the second piece of. I wanted to make
Okay.
sure I wanted to dissuade anybody from going after it. So why not remove the option from folks and not give them as much option to do so. White.
Look at that beaut.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Another Triceratops.
Another.
All right. And now let's hope. Yahtzee. Green.
Pass.
White. That would be a Triceratops, which probably is enough to win them the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now in turn order, can you complete a dinosaur?
No.
White?
Um,
No, but you will get
I
5
will,
points.
yep.
So go ahead and take your 5. So blue's done, white's done. Red?
I will. Any period 3, and that'll be the
So-
Stegosaurus for 7.
So 2, 4, 6, 7. That it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And green?
This is a 2-part Jurassic for 7 points.
7 for green.
The Ichthyosaur.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the any period
That was
2-part for 5 points, which is good enough to lock down second place. And thus we go into final scoring, and we're done.
That lasted
Very
a
good.
long time.
All right. So Nathan, hashtag good teacher, wins with
Nicely done.
39.
Nicely
I take
done.
second at 31. Mike 24, and then pretty close over there. And Matt at what is that 22, and Amanda at 20.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah.
playing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with you three. It's all of your first games. So anybody want to take it to start?
Heavy memory component.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of luck of the draw going on too a little bit. You can mitigate it some, but
You can mitigate it with a survey.
That's
Right.
an expensive mitigation, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say otherwise. It's just kind of luck of the draw, especially in the beginning. I think that kind of dictates the direction you choose.
So my question for you is this. It's about paleontology. You don't know what you're digging after.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a problem with this game?
I think it fits in with the theme.
It
Yeah.
does. It does fit in with the theme.
It's-
It's not a terrible thing, but it is a slight drawback.
Okay.
Yeah, it's completely consistent. I mean, I love the way the theme carries through here. You can publish, you can dig, you can restore. I
Right.
love that.
It's that other stuff.
So here's my question then. Is I like it, I don't love it. But at 4 and 5, to be able to dig into the Triassic. Okay, so let me show folks. So this game doesn't scale. So what that means is if we're playing 3-player, if it's Amanda, me, and Matt, we have 12 discs as opposed to 20 that are out there. So being able to get digging into the Triassic is near impossible unless you're tag teaming to get it. And then one person's going to focus probably on the Triassic. So my question is, on a 3-player game, are the Triassic even viable? And even in the 5-player, how viable
Right.
are the Triassic, period?
I started off with the Triassic, this guy here, the Plateosaurus, and it took a lot of strategizing to make sure I dug down to the bottom.
And then it had to be there.
Yeah, and not
Because
taken by the
even
people in
so,
front of you.
there's 5 different Triassic dinosaurs. 3 of which have 2 parts, 2 of which have 3 parts, and then there are 2 sets of each. So that's a total of 10 sets, only 2 of which match yours. And so you need to nail all of those. So that's my only hesitation is at 5 players, I think it's okay. I'm okay with that. But as you go less, nothing else about the game scales. You don't get more discs. You don't get more assistance. Same thing. So that's my real big apprehension about this game is at 3 players, just take Triassic out and add other cards. But then my question is, why should I have to house rule the game?
Like
Right.
Tony Boydell was saying, perhaps in the 3 and 4 player game, whatever cards are not chosen, instead of either leaving them there or adding more onto that stack, they go into the conference.
Sure, but again, it's got to be a house rule,
Right.
Right.
That's my big issue. I don't mind. I think it's pretty decent at 5. I'm okay because it plays relatively quick. You're talking 90 minutes with a 5-player game at most. I'm okay with the luck of the draw with it because there is some mitigation with the geological survey as well as the academic conference when people discard things.
I mean, I could, if there's a mechanism to get the Triassic dinosaurs out in a lower player count game, they can accumulate in the literature, and later in the game they could become viable through the conference. Okay, that's perfectly thematic. That makes total sense.
Right.
I'd almost like
5th worker, maybe?
a
That's what I was
space
thinking.
for each
Fifth
one of
best.
these that only one person could go to. That was like maybe like draw 3, take 1, something
Sure.
like that. It's
So-
like, hey, I really need a Triassic card. Draw 3, take 1.
Right.
Something like that.
Right,
maybe.
and so, and that's my point, though.
Yeah.
Is so my question then is the game developed enough? The fact that it doesn't scale like that.
I don't think so.
If it doesn't scale, it seems like that's automatically makes it a little undercooked.
Right.
Just one more turn of the crank somehow to get it to that scale.
Or just add discs for
Right,
less
exactly.
players. I mean, that would bring it up to where you're having the same amount of actions, 20 per round for each of us, right? And then figure out a way to where maybe at 3 players, maybe it's 5 each or 6 discs each.
Or is
something
this
like
one of
that,
those
or
things like we've spoken of before where they tried to shoehorn in
a
multiple player
count
counts?
that it didn't need? Maybe it should
Maybe
only
this
be a
is
4
five-
or 4 or 5
The
player
end.
game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fair point
Yeah.
on that
That'd
too.
do it.
Right. All right. So, but overall, so now, do you guys want to play it anymore? Then?
I'll sure play it again.
Yeah.
I
That's,
definitely would.
That's not a problem. It's probably not my favorite worker placement recipe fulfillment style game, but I do like the theme an awful lot.
I do too, and
So
that's
that-
what hooked me.
Yeah, that
originally.
is a feather in its cap. There. is
Yeah,
the
hey
theme.
dinos. I mean,
Yeah.
come
Right.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
And I never want to pass too much of a final judgment on one play.
Sure, no doubt, of course, but it's been pretty consistent. I've
Okay.
seen across different player groups when I played this at BGG-Con a couple of times, and then back here. So, all right. So I'm curious now here to look in at the peanut gallery and see what folks say. So Todd says the luck of the draw with the request cards is huge. They're worth so much more early in the game,
Yes,
which is
sir.
very much a true point. Andy says, theme's fantastic. Treat it as an experience game. Have fun with it.
Yes.
It is a 5-player only game, though.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if we all dressed up in those T-Rex costumes that have the hole right here.
Oh man. So
Or the
awesome.
inflatables.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Oh, this is interesting because Polling Cow is a professional developer, right?
Yes.
When in the game did those that did not win know they were going to lose? Was it still fun at that point? Fear that the end game can be boring? And that's another point. Like,
That is a good point.
you guys, everybody but me, I felt like was out of the game at this point because of the fact that the request cards don't give enough points for you guys to be able to catch up. So once Nathan got a lead,
Right.
and I saw the fact that he was going to get his recurring 3 points, even the 3 points was going to be enough to win him the game. I knew even if I drew well, I was going to get 5 or 7 points, and that's it. And I'm playing for second place.
Yeah, no, I knew I was playing for 4th or 5th, but I was still having fun trying to get the dinosaurs that I needed.
But is that?
That was still fun for me.
Yeah, what happens is when that happens to me, instead of looking at winning, I focus on a goal other than
Yeah, you shift the goalposts.
the Stegosaurus
Right.
was the goal.
Right.
Okay, I've got my goal.
My
Okay, I feel
T-Rex
good.
or my Spinosaurus was the goal, and it didn't work out, but I still had a goal in sight. It wasn't winning anymore.
Right.
So on the points, right? So the points come from museum and from requests, and the winners completed good requests, and the folks back there did not. I mean, I had my first request card, and it was only at the end of the game that I actually fulfilled it, just because of the luck of the draw.
I do think requests are more powerful than
Yeah.
the museum exhibits.
Way more. I mean, because these museum exhibits, completing 2 dinosaurs and just throwing them into museum exhibits, that is a huge commitment right there, and it only gets you 5 points a turn.
Unless you're doing it early.
Right.
Yeah,
You have to do it early enough. You
Right.
have to do it
Yep.
early enough
Yep.
to get
Agreed.
net more points than turning it in for a request.
And Dave says the designer of this, Masaki Suga, hasn't done a lot of games, and maybe that shows in how the game doesn't scale quite right. I would put less of the onus on the designer and more on the development, because the designer has the game, the developer is the one who's supposed to make sure that it scales. So, but yeah, I agree with that.
And there's no
So-
in-game scoring.
Right, yeah, there's none. Like, it's a deterministic thing, so you can see where it is where it is,
And
right?
good point from Todd. Not just because you fulfill this early in the game doesn't necessarily mean you will be able to obtain that
And
many
the fa-
points
I
because
had-
somebody
I
can
had
take
mine
it.
stolen.
Yeah,
I had-
weakening it further.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weaker at the beginning, but more lucrative. But
Yeah.
right.
could
It's
go
more
away.
vulnerable at the beginning. Yes. Yep. So cool. Well, and that's why I said I wanted everybody that was all like, "Oh, this game looks pretty cool, this and that," and I'm not arguing that fact. But I wanted to wait until we got to this point to be able to discuss this, because I think there are some significant shortcomings in the game. I think the, sorry for the pun, but the bones are good here, but I feel like it definitely needed further development here. I really
this thing
do,
needs to be fleshed out a little more.
if you will.
Hey, let's keep going. This is working.
All right, so
Maybe it's
yeah.
for the birds.
Or the pterodons.
They become birds eventually, right?
Hey, if you wait long enough.
Oh, okay. And Dave is pretty up on the Japanese culture
he's-
and everything.
He's
and Dave's,
fluent in Japanese.
Yeah, and he says he doesn't have the manual in front of me, but there's a decent chance there wasn't a developer. Many Japanese games are one-man or one-woman shows. Okay, so well
Possibly
then,
then.
okay, fair enough. So good. Okay. Well, good. Like I said, our job here is not to sell a
Yeah,
game
no.
or to dissuade you from buying a game. Ultimately, our job here is to present the game in the best light that we can. That's why I wanted it to be at 5 players. However, we also want to be able to highlight the pros and cons, right?
Yes.
Whether it's in a review that we do on the podcast or whether it's like this for the live streams. So,
And this is interesting. There was a designer and then 3 playtesters. That's it.
oh wow, interesting.
Not even 5.
Interesting.
So they did
Okay.
a 4-player game at best.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well there you go. So
Thanks, Dave. Good point.
Hopefully, we're doing our job here to be able to, fair, balance, honest, fair, and thorough is what we promise. So hopefully we're coming through on that. So thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks to y'all taking the time to do this.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. So it's day 2 of the Advent of 24. So we get 22 more of these, as y'all can see by the tree. And thanks to the 590 some odd patrons that we have. I say that because it's the beginning of the month. We're not quite sure how many we have. It's between 595 and 602. So thank you to all our patrons out there. And there at the bottom of the screen on the scroll, if you want to support what we do, we definitely would appreciate it. PledgeHC.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We're doing this 22 more days in a row. So if you enjoy this, hopefully you guys will help keep us going by joining us in the peanut gallery.
Yes.
So on behalf of everybody here, Edward,
Amanda.
Sweater Mike.
Nathan.
And Matt.
thanks a lot, y'all. We'll catch y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
See you later.